Croeso, and welcome to Ant Antics. Today we're going to be having a look at the Byd Mini, which means tiny Outworld in Welsh. So, this is likely your first Outworld for your colony since upgrading from a smaller nest. It can be overwhelming at times, but today, in just 7 or 8 minutes, we're going to have yours built, and you will see that these two little packages are nothing to be fearful of at all. Within time, you'll be making these without any instructions at all. Our design and build language is the same throughout all of our products, and you can stop the video as and when you need to see what we are doing. In your nest, you're going to have a base frame, lid. You're going to have some 3-way connectors, as well as a lid handle, a nest-to-nest connector. Other connectors are sold separately if you need pipe attachments or otherwise. You'll find the pieces of acrylic. You'll find 4 screws separately packed from the others. We're going to keep them to one side because they're important later. And you'll also see that there is a selection of screws and a hex key. These are the 4 little screws. Keep them to one side. We use those first on the base. So we're going to first start with the base section. To do that, we're going to connect the 2 pieces I've just placed here. After peeling away the outer acrylic, these protective covers are a little bit tricky. You need good nails to get them off. You will see on here an engraving. The engraving says up and front. That means the side it's engraved, you will know by your feeling the pieces of acrylic, that goes upwards and to the front, which is usually where the V2 port is. So, with the base frame section here, you can see I'm aligning the 3 grooves with the up and front section. We can go ahead now and screw this together. Make sure you do the screws just until they stop turning. You don't want to bend the acrylic or the frame in any way. Also remember, these are the small screws from the little pouch. Now that that's complete, you can simply pop this into the actual frame itself. Perfect. Onto the acrylic. So the first piece of acrylic is the front one with the single hole. You'll notice that, as with all of the other pieces, it is engraved. It's important to get the orientation correct here because every screw needs to be aligned perfectly. So by feeling the acrylic, you will feel the side of the engraving. The I in the acrylic means inside, so the actual engraving goes on the inside of the nest, and the F means it's the front panel to be inserted. We're going to start by doing those 2 screws, and now they are done, we can move on to the back panel. BI is the inscription on there, which means the engraving faces inwards, and that's the back panel. Perfect. Let's go ahead and screw these up. Told you this was easy, right? Now we move on to the left and right sides. So once you've peeled the acrylic, make note of the inscriptions that's engraved onto them. Here, we've got inside left with an arrow pointing to the direction of the front. As you remember, the front is the V2 port. So when facing the V2 port, like I've just turned it, you see the left hand side arrow pointing towards the front. They may take a little click in, don't worry about that, they're nice and snug. And onto the right side, we see here inside right with an arrow pointing forwards. Easy. So now we can go ahead and get the sides screwed up. And now we can take a look at the top 4 corners. If you work on the smaller ends first, we can screw them in and hold the corner in place so it's nice and flush while we make the last screw tighten. Now remember, do not over tighten them, do not use power tools, just turn them until they stop moving. Brilliant. You can go ahead and do the rest now. We're almost there. Looking at the lid section, we see an engraving. Surprise, surprise. So feel the side of the engraving. The arrow points to the front and the side the engraving is on is up. Let's connect up the cover for the V2 port. You'll notice the NES connector is already inserted, so you can attach it to your existing setup, making something modular almost straight away. If you're left with one screw at the end, don't worry, we always put a spare in. Black screws are hard to find when you drop them. Insert the lid frame, put on the lid, and you are away. Welcome to your new mini Outworld. Thank you for choosing Ant Antics, thank you for watching the video, and if you have any problems, please feel free to get in touch. We can help you with your journey, we can advise you on products, and we can help you build this if the instructions are not clear enough. Have a wonderful day.